Hi, this is John Mancini, past president of AIIM, and I'd like to welcome you to the third module in our What Did It All Mean series focused on our most recent market research, which was focused on content integration and migration. And I'd like to thank our underwriters, AvePoint, Helix, OpenText, and Systemware. Check out their offerings. I think you'll find them interesting. Without their support, we wouldn't be able to make this kind of information available to the end user community for free. So we do appreciate their involvement and engagement. My third module, relative to what does it all mean in terms of our content migration integration market research project, ties to helping people understand how other organizations are spending their money, how they're prioritizing their spending plans, what's hot in terms of implementation, so that you can benchmark what you do relative to other folks. So let me start here where, how active are these projects in organizations? And so what you see here, this is a very, very high level of engagement relative to other kinds of spend. Over 60% of organizations say they are planning a significant content migration or integration initiative just in the next 12 months. And the reason for that, it goes back to other research that we've done. People are struggling with information chaos. They realize that solving information chaos is key to their digital transformation strategy. They understand that they have to modernize their information infrastructure if they're going to get at this issue. And so, what that all kind of comes down to is content migration integration becomes a really critical strategic imperative as they think about these issues moving forward. The most important benefits they see, and again, this dovetails with some other data points that I've discussed in previous modules, is that 44% see this overall business benefits tied to improved collaboration and access to information. That's a really strategic benefit. And I'm kind of glad to see that, because sometimes these projects, people attempt to justify them based on some of the more tactical things, like direct cost savings from decommissioning a legacy system. And that certainly is important. I don't want to underestimate that. But there is an appreciation that these need to be positioned in a strategic context in order to be the most effective. This question, who needs to sit at the table here? And, what's typical for folks sitting at the table? And what you see, there's a lot of different engagement depending on the organization, depending on the industry, depending on the size, but three really leap to the top. And the first is IT and IT services, as you might guess. They are going to be very much in a leadership position when it comes to thinking about migration and integration projects. Second is sort of a corporate sponsor, C-level person engaged in the project. And then thirdly, people that understand the operational challenges that are created from poor information management infrastructures and from an abundance of information chaos. So that really provides a pretty good checklist as you think about a team that needs to be engaged in these projects, as you think through these projects, both from a selling perspective as well as eventually from an implementation perspective. In terms of where the money lies, typically these are paid for out of IT budgets. And you can kind of see this as really a dominant factor in the data that we generated. When you think about what people are doing relative to, are they planning on increasing their spending? Are they planning on decreasing, keeping it the same? And we broke this into content collaboration, content migration, and content integration plans, even though there's a fair amount of overlap between these. But what you can see is that there is significant spending planned. There is significant increases in spending planned as currently as in the next 3 to 6 months. And then when you think about overall budgets, and again, this doesn't come as a terrific surprise because, again, there's some overlap between these budget categories. But people have tended to spend more money so far on content collaboration platforms. And that kind of makes sense when you think about a content collaboration platform, as something that, is a layer throughout the entire organization. While content migration and content integration, those are kind of spends that are more project-based. And there certainly is overlap, because people are trying to get at content collaboration through their content migration and integration projects. But this is what the average spend was reported by the participants in our survey. So thanks for taking the time to view our little series on what did it all mean with regards to our market research. If there are topics that you'd like to see covered in our market research, please contact me at johnmancini@aim.org. If you have any questions about the research, if you'd like presentations in your company about some of the research results, there are a lot of different flavors that we can go with in terms of having this information represent more value to you. And if you're on the sell side and you want to be part of this kind of a project, if you'd like to be an underwriter, we'd love to hear from you too. So thanks again.